Dear fellow language learners, my name is Bong and welcome to this series on how to survive in any language, no matter where you are in the world. Because I've been to many places, facing dangerous situations during which I almost died. Now I thought I was prepared watching all these survivalist kind of videos you can find out there. I am a big fan of Bear Grylls, Kelly Nightlinger or Coyote, amongst other influencers. Now that's very useful when you're alone in the wild. But what happens if you've been abducted, brought to another country, you manage to escape, but then you realize that people don't speak your language? You might go to the first person you see and ask, "I'm in a terrible situation, where are we now?" To their ears, it's probably gonna sound like, That's why I'm making this video and many more, because knowing its content would have saved me a lot of trouble. Now, I don't go often on the internet, but when I do, sometimes I see pages entitled 10 expressions you must know in every language. And it's like, "Hello, how are you? Fine, and you?" Do you really think you can survive with that? So I'll give you a toolbox of 7 words or expressions. That's not even 10, guys, so no excuses. Do you know Maslow's hierarchy of needs? Well, according to Abraham Maslow, you must satisfy a level before reaching the next one. That's why it's often shaped like a pyramid. Now, a lot of people in the society don't really care about the physiological and safety needs because they take it for granted. But being in a survival mode is precisely focusing on those 2 basic, fundamental levels of needs. Also, when you experience life through those, you really feel like all your senses are awakened and you really feel like living. I'm sorry I got a little carried away. I'm not shouting because I'm mad at you, but on the contrary, because I'm passionate about this topic. Anyway, what do these needs imply? Eating, drinking, being warm, and sleeping. You've probably heard the rule of 3, that you can't survive 3 weeks without food, 3 days without water, and 3 minutes without breathing. Of course, this is just a reference, and some people showed how amazing the human body is. Like Randy Garner, who was a 17-year-old student in 1964, and who managed to stay awake more than 11 days without sleeping. Men, you're awesome. All this to say that these are the kind of words you better know if you want to survive, right? 7 words or expressions is a very limited amount, so I would choose how to ask for water. Only 2 syllables, very easy, short and sweet. Water is an essential molecule for life. Our bodies are made of 65% of it. If someone finds you asking for water, they're probably gonna understand that you're in a critical situation and also offer you food and a shelter. What's the point of saying, "I'm tired"? If you are, they're probably gonna tell by your face, right? If you're cold, people are also gonna notice it. Don't underestimate the power of body language. Professor Paul Ekman's studies show that we all share universal expressions. If you meet a person on the other side of the world who doesn't speak your language, you're still gonna be able to understand each other through your respective face. Happiness, sadness, fear, anger, surprise, and disgust. So basically we can get rid of all these words on our list, but water, you better know how to say it. Now, if there is no one inside but you're in danger, you must shout "help!" So that's the second word you need to learn. This expression is very useful. For example, if you're drowning, hopefully someone will find you and get you out of the water. But there can also be different sources of danger, like a fire when it's cold outside or thunder when it rains. So fire is not on my list, but it's always good to know how to say fire. Otherwise, there's also danger involving other people. Are you getting beaten up? Did someone steal something from you? Well, these are very complicated situations to explain. Hopefully the person helping you will figure it out quickly and act accordingly. Now, with cultural differences, the person helping you might become another source of danger if you've been disrespectful to him or her. You can always bow and show a universally understandable position of submissiveness, but it's just easier and faster to say sorry. The 4th expression might be the most important one on the list. What is, as in, what's this? What's that? I don't know if you remember how you were as a kid, but I was pretty annoying asking that all the time. However, this is precisely how we learned everything we know today. So if you're traveling in a place where people don't speak your language, you can pretty much learn anything with this expression. If there is a translator that speaks your language, you can learn the more sophisticated expression. How do you say that in English? That way you can learn not only what's visible around you, but also more conceptual words like anti-disestablishmentarianism. We human beings are incredible, unique creatures, and this uniqueness is defined by our identity, which is personified by our name. So it's good to know my name is. It shows that you have your own personal universe and you're ready to meet the other person's one. In other words, it shows that the other person can trust you. You can also learn I am and then your name, the verb to be being one of the most important one in many languages. But in some others, like Japanese or Korean, it's a little bit more complicated to literally translate. Besides, If you learn how to say my name is with the previous expression, you should already be able to ask what is your name? So give your name first. My name is Bong, and this is 7 words or expressions you must know to survive in any language. Number 6 is like a small package. It's yes and no. You can communicate so many things with only these 2 words. And don't be that guy who thinks everybody understands English. I remember when I was visiting Czech Republic, a beautiful country. There was this English-speaking tourist who was kind of pushy with the local people. But do you know how to say yes in Czech? It's ano. It was like, is the train station over there? Ano. Okay, so it's on the other side. That was pretty fun to watch, but not really successful for that guy. So learn how to say yes and no. Last but not least, the final expression is thank you. If someone helps you, you need to show your appreciation. I'm telling you, you should do it. And there is no better way than to say it in their native tongue. It's a proof that you care about them because you actually did make the effort to learn this magical word in their language. Because even though I'm passionate about the survivalist kind of lifestyle, I don't believe societies were built on the survival of the fittest. Instead, I believe that civilizations were built upon unity and trust. So don't underestimate the relationships you create around you, but also when you travel. So here are the 7 words and expressions we saw today. Water, please, help, sorry, what's this, what's that, my name is or I am, yes and no, and thank you. I do mean it. Thank you. My name is Bong, and that was 7 words and expressions you must know to survive in any language.